how to add some basic content to a page. And this is, I'm not going to do an educational example because you have your own ideas of what that's going to be. So let's say I'm going to add a page to this. And because I'm immature, now when you add a page, you can add a standard page. So that's something that you're creating, and you can make it whatever you want. You can add a blog, store page, an external page, which would link to something else. Non-clickable menu, I'm not sure what that is, honestly. Never used that before. Maybe I'll investigate that later. But most of the time, you're probably going to be adding a standard page. I'm going to click that. I have to name it. I am immature. So let's say that I wanted to add a video game review to my web page, which you wouldn't do for education, but it's just an example. I'm going to change the header to short. That's just my preference. If you don't want this visible, you would click, you need a password for it. If you want it visible, then you leave it public. SEO with search engine optimization settings. I recommend that you don't mess with that. So I click save. And even though this is video game review up here, I need to add a heading to this, otherwise I won't have one. So let's say I have more than one review. So I want to add subpages to this. So to do that, I'm going to make another page, standard page, and there's a video game called Portal. It's pretty amazing. So I am going to call this page Portal. I hit save. Now I don't want this up here to be a video game review and then Portal to be its own separate thing. I want Portal to be underneath of the video game review. So if I grab this and push it to the right, notice how it's indented here. And if you look up here, it's gone. Unless I hover over this and then I can click on Portal, which takes me to this page, which I should name Portal. And there's another game called Portal 2. I'm going to add a standard page. Also be a short header. Change this to Portal 2. Notice at this point, it's its own separate tab, but I want it to be also under video game review. So now when I click on video game review, I got two choices. So let's say I want to add a review for Portal 1. So I click on Portal 1, and then I go to build and add a title to this. Let's say my title is review for Portal. And if I want to add text, I go over here and grab text and drag it underneath. And let's assume that I have this great review, not copy and pasted, but let's say that I typed this out on my own. So I highlighted it, Control, copy, and then I click in here and I could type it out. I'm just going to do Control V, and I'm going to make sure that I cite IGN for this because I didn't write it. There you go. So I added a title and I added text to this page. Now if I want to go to Portal 2, let's say I want to add a title to it, which I will do. Kind of redundant. It says Portal 2. This also says Portal 2, but I think you get the point. I can add text to this underneath, and I already have this tab up. So let's just pretend like this was my words. I can also cite the website for this because I don't want to get in trouble. So once I hit publish, this is what the user would see. If they went to the site, they would go to video game reviews, and there are two choices. They can check out Portal, they can check out Portal 2. Now if I just click video game review, there's really nothing here. So let me show you what I can do to that as well. I'm going to go back to Video Game Review. That's like the parent page for this. And I'm going to add some text. Portal. Portal 2. Now at this point, that's not going to do anything. That's just telling them these are the reviews that we have. But if I left click and drag over it, and then choose Create Link, you get lots of different things you can do here. I'm going to choose a standard page. That means it's going to link to a page that I created. So I click Standard Page. I've already called that page Portal. I click it. Now I can have this open up this into a new window or keep it in the same window. I'm going to choose a new window. I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. I'm going to go to Portal 2, left click and drag over it, create a link, standard page, Portal 2. I'm going to not open it in a new window, so I'm not going to check that. Now if I hit Publish, check out what that looks like. If I now go to Video Game Review and click on that instead of the drop-down tabs, it's the same options. So Portal 1, notice a new tab opened. Still have the old tab. Portal 2, I'd made it open up in the same tab. So to get back to the original page, I would either click back or I could click Video Game Review to go back there.